Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the lecture 7 of Unit First. Today's topic include dynamic characteristics of SCR. Till date, we have studied what's SCR and the three modes of operation of SCR and the IV characteristics of SCR. In the IV characteristics, we studied the relationship between the anode to cathode voltage and forward current that we call as anode current during turn on and turn off period. As the VI characteristics does not give us any information related to switching speed of SCR from off state to on state and vice versa, this can be determined by dynamic characteristics of SCR. This transition time, called thyristor turn on time, is defined as the time during which the thyristor changes its state from forward blocking state to final on state. Transition time, called thyristor turn on time, is divided into three intervals. One is the delay time, another is the rise time, and the third one is the spread time, denoted by TD, TD, TR, this is the rise time, and the third one is the TP, that is the spread time. That means this whole interval is basically the turning on period. And after turning, because this transition is not instantaneous, after that the steady values of current, anode current, and the forward voltage is obtained. As we know, during turning on of SCR, which means that initially the SCR is in off state. Because in turning on means we have to change the state. That means previously it's in off state, since this is the IG represents the gate current, IA represents the anode current or forward current. You can represent it by IA or IF, and this third graph is V anode to cathode voltage. That means you can represent it by VF also, that is forward voltage. That means since we know that we have to change the state from off to on, because as we know, as I have already discussed, that during on the voltage will be something, this is the current will be high, and that means this is the finite value of some current. This is some finite value of current, and the current will and the voltage will be very low. During practical switch, this will be almost equal to, that will be slightly greater than 0. And that means if this is the on state, that means previously it will be in the it should be in the off state. That means during the off state, the current, this anode current, this will be 0 or very small, that is the leakage current, slightly higher than the 0. And this voltage, that is the basically this voltage, that will be very high, or we can represent it by some finite voltage V on. This is the off state, and this transition, that means this voltage from this finite value till it reaches that approximately equal to 0, and this current from some smaller value to some higher value, steady state value, this transition, this whole transition from this off to on is divided into three intervals. One is this TD, delay time, another is this rise time, and third one is this TP, that is the spread time. Now, what is this delay time? Because this is the reference time. This reference time starts from where the gate current reaches almost 90% of its final value. That means this, from this interval to this TP, This TD interval is defined when the anode current rises up to its 10%, that means from 0 to 0.1 ion, and this anode to cathode voltage, or this V on it, decreases from it decreases also 10%, that means from VA final value, that means 100% of V on to 90% of V on, and that 90% of V on is represented by 0.9 V on. With the flow of this gate current, it has been found that during this delay time, anode current flows in a narrow region near the gate where the gate current density is the highest. This is due to the non-uniform distribution of gate current over the cathode surface due to the inner P layer. This delay time can be decreased by applying high gate current and more forward anode to cathode voltage. That delay time fraction of a microsecond. Rise time. It's defined from time taken by the anode current to reach up to its 80%, or we can say to reach from this 0.1 ion to 0.9 ion, or we can say 80% of rise of anode current occurs in this interval, or we can say it's that rise time is that interval in which the anode to cathode voltage, or V on, decreases from 0.9 V on, that means 90% of its final value, to 10% of its final value, that means 0.1 V on. The rise time is inversely proportional to the magnitude of gate current. It also depends on the nature of anode circuit. For example, for series RL circuit, the rate of rise of anode current is slow. Therefore, rise time is more. And for RC series circuit, the rate of rise of anode current is high, or we can say that di by dt is high. Therefore, TR, or rise time, will be less. Due to the non-uniform distribution of gate charge carriers over the cathode surface, this anode current flows. This anode current conducts over a small conducting over a small over a small interval, but that interval is, however, greater than that interval that's present during the delay time. During this rise time, the turn-on losses in the thyristor are the highest due to the high anode voltage, and the high due to the high anode voltage and due to the high anode current occurring together in this interval. That means somewhere here and somewhere here, this voltage and the current, they will be maximum, resulting in more losses over a small conducting region, which may result in the formation of local hot spots, and the device may get damaged. These local hotspots are also explained in the next lecture. Now, the spread time. It is the interval during which the anode to cathode voltage falls from 10% of its V on to its small on-state voltage drop, and this anode current rises to its 10%, or we can say rises from the 0.9 ion to the full steady state value of this forward current. This is the steady state of value of the steady state. That means during this interval, the thyristor will be in the on state, and during this interval, this is a steady state value. The thyristor will be in the on state. This is the thyristor voltage. Anode to cathode voltage, that means this is very small, and this current, that is the is very high or some finite value. This transition from this slight smaller value to this finite value, and this finite value to this smaller value, this transition time is called as turn on time. This whole turn on time is basically the sum of delay time, rise time, and spread time, and its order is of 1 to 4 microseconds. This turn on time depends upon the anode circuit parameters and the gate signal. Higher the magnitude of gate current, lesser time transition on time or turn on time. The magnitude of gate current is usually 3 to 5 times higher than the minimum gate current required to trigger an SCR. And that thyristor is called as hard fired or overdriven SCR. This hard firing or overdriving of SCR reduces its turn on time. Once if this is the diagram of this circuit, that means we are applying some forward voltage or input Vi. If this is the SCR, this is the SCR and this is the resistive load. Once it's turned on, that means if we are applying gate current, until and unless it reaches its that part, that means that latching current where it turns on, or we represent that as alpha. This alpha is a triggering angle, or you can see the turning on angle of SCR. That means from the zero till the SCR, till that gate cathode voltage reaches that appropriate value, or till the anode current reaches that latching current where the SCR turns on. This the anode to cathode voltage, that means the voltage across this SCR will be anode to cathode voltage, that positive cycle. Once it reaches its triggering angle or that latching current mode, the SCR is turned on, and the voltage across that across this SCR will be slightly zero or some zero. This is this bold line, that means this up to this alpha, this SCR is not triggered, is not turned on, or we can say the gate to cathode voltage is not enough to trigger it on until and unless it reaches its value, that is alpha, or we can say until and unless this V input, basically this is a sinusoidal wave, until and unless this Vi reaches, that means this Vm sine of omega t reaches that Vm sine of alpha. That means when this when this gate voltage across gate to cathode voltage across this SCR reaches Vm sine of alpha, this SCR is triggered on, and at that instant the voltage drop across the SCR will be zero. Since from 0 to alpha, SCR is not triggered. Since SCR is not triggered, that means SCR is in off state, the current across the SCR will be zero. That means this dotted line, that is IA. From 0 to alpha, this will be 0, and once this gate once this SCR is triggered, abruptly it reaches to that interval, and after that alpha, this will be same as your as your input current, because in this is the resistive load, and in case of resistive load, the current and voltage, that will be in the phase. The only difference will be that this the peak value of this current will be slightly lesser than, that means this I maximum will be equal to V maximum divided by R, that means this will be slightly lesser. Similarly, that voltage across this voltage across the load, or we can say this input voltage, the voltage at this V input represents its load, because this load voltage will be exactly equal to this input voltage. Once this SCR is triggered at an angle of alpha, it reaches to, that means at this angle of Vm sine of alpha, it's turned on, it reaches peak exactly. This V naught is equal to VI, where we have the peak of that input voltage. Simultaneously at that point, we will be having the peak of that load voltage, and from this, and then the current will fall from 90 till it reaches its pi interval. That means from this 0 to alpha interval, and there will be no load current, there will be no output voltage, there will be only the voltage across the thyristor, that is represented by V anode to cathode. Once this SCR is triggered, that this voltage across thyristor will be 0. This is this bold line. There will be anode current, and there will be this output voltage that is equal to your our input voltage, because the voltage, the load here is the resistive load. The voltage and current across this resistive load will be exactly equal to the input voltage, because there is no other element present in the circuit. This is the SCR turn off characteristic. That means turning off state. That means the SCR has changed its state from off interval to from on interval, off interval, or we can say it's capable of, SCR is capable of blocking this forward voltage. That means then those junction barriers are again formed during this off state. This process of turning off from on state, from conduction state to forward blocking state, is called as commutation process or turn off process. I already mentioned you that to turn off the SCR, we have to apply a reverse voltage. The main function, as just like in case of diode, the characteristics are similar to that of diode, because as soon as this current reach to its zero interval, we have to supply, we have to continue this reverse voltage, because we have some charge carriers in the depletion layer and in the outer layers, and to remove those charge carriers, we we have to supply that reverse voltage for some finite period of time. If this gate signal, if the gate signal is applied here, once the anode current, that means once we are supply once we are turning off the power supply, if we are applying the gate current at this interval, that means at this interval where the anode current anode current becomes 0, this SCR will again turn on. This is because of the charge carriers present in the conduction layers and in the depletion layer. That means it's necessary. That means it's necessary that the thyristor should be reverse biased for a finite period of time, even if the anode current reaches to 0. Because once we are applying this gate current at this, the SCR will again turn on due to the presence of those stored charge carriers. This turn off period is divided again into two interval. One is this TRR, that is reverse recovery time, and this is the gate recovery time. DGR. This is the forward, that means this is the on state. During this on state, or we will be having some finite value of current that is represented by forward current, and this forward voltage or on state voltage drop, it will be slightly greater than 0. Once that means from this we are turning off the SCR. This turning off of SCR is initiated by turning off of supply, or we can say by providing some reverse voltage. Once this current starts decaying with some slope, one until unless it reaches its zero, this current even starts flowing after that interval, after that current becomes equal to zero. That means this current here becomes this current will be negative here till it reaches its maximum, and then slightly goes on decaying until it reaches its zero value. The reason for the reversal of this this negative anode current is due to the presence of carriers stored in the four layers. Reverse recovery time, the charge carriers from the outer P and N layers are removed, and after 60% of these charge carriers are removed, this anode current starts decaying. And due to the fast decay of this reverse current, this results in the reverse voltage across the device. If some inductance is present in the circuit, this may result in the voltage drop across the circuit. In order to avoid this reverse voltage, we need some external protection, and that protection is done by RC elements, or we call that as snubber circuit. Recovery time is defined as the time taken by the inner trapped charge carriers to recombine, as these inner as the charge present in the inner layers cannot be sucked out. Not this These these charge carriers cannot flow to the external circuit, as these are trapped charges, and they just decay. They just finish only by the recombination, and this recombination is possible only if this reverse voltage is maintained across the SCR. Though the magnitude of this voltage is not important. This time for recombination of charges in the inner layer is called gate recovery time. This turn off time, that is the combination of this reverse recovery time and the gate recovery time, is and depends on the magnitude of forward current. That means more the forward current, more will be the charge carriers, and more time will it take to throw it away from the outer layers or to recombine in the inner layers. And it also depends on the junction temperature. And increase in any of these two factors increases this thyristor turn off time. This turn off time can be decreased with an increase in the magnitude of the reverse voltage. This is because high reverse voltage sucks out the carriers out of the junction J1 and the J3 and at the faster rate. This turn off time is applicable to an individual SCR, while as in actual practice or in practical circuit, thyristor form a part of the power circuit. The turn off time provided to this thyristor by the practical circuit is called circuit turn off time. This circuit turn off time must be greater than this turn off time, otherwise this may result in the commutation failure. Thyristors with slow turn off time, that is between 50 to 100 microseconds, are called converter grade SCRs, and the thyristors with fast turn off time, that is between 3 to 50 microsecond, are called inverter grade SCRs, or we can say thyristors with lesser turn off time are called inverter grade SCRs, and thyristors with more turn off time, they are called converter grade SCRs.
This is a simple circuit. This is a simple circuit having the forward voltage or input voltage. This is the resistive load, and this is the thyristor. This is the basically this represents the three waveforms on the same three waveforms combined together. One waveform is the voltage across thyristor. This is the voltage across thyristor. Another one is the basically this is zero to alpha it's zero, and then current IA. And the second one is third one is the voltage output voltage. I mean this is 0 to alpha it's 0, and then it suddenly rises at an angle of alpha where we are applying the where we are applying the gate current. After applying the gate triggering, this SCR, the output voltage across the SCR is represented by V naught. While as during this turn off, during the turn off, this is during the turn on period, that means from 0 to pi, and this is the interval from pi to 2 pi, that means during which we have applied the reverse bias across the circuit. Basically we have for the sinusoidal voltage we will be having this wave shape, positive cycle and the negative cycle for because no commutation, no external circuit is used in this circuit, because we have both positive to forward bias and the negative to reverse bias. To turn off we have negative cycle, to turn on we have positive cycle. During this reverse biased uh, or negative cycle, the output voltage, that means we are applying the reverse, this will be negative and this will be positive now. We are applying the reverse voltage. During the reverse bias, our SCR will remain in the off state. That means the current in this interval will be zero. The If the current in this series circuit will be zero, that means the output current across the load will be zero. If the current across the load will be zero, that means voltage across this resistive load will be zero. Both this IA will be zero. Both this V output, that is initially in this positive cycle it's equal to, from 0 to alpha it's equal to 0, and from alpha to pi it's equal to V input. That means up to that means it's equal to the forward voltage, and during this it will be equal to the this output voltage, that will be equal to 0 because the current across this circuit is equal to 0. And this voltage across thyristor, since this thyristor behaves like the open circuit, the whole reverse voltage will be across this thyristor. That means this V anode to cathode voltage will be exactly equal to this reverse voltage. That's I am showing this from pi to 2 pi. The voltage is reverse.